Al, first of all, it feels like my bones are even soaked. I don't know if I'll ever be dry again. The rain just keeps coming down. Let's take a look over here. We're at Lake Vernon, and it's 4 feet above pool stage. You can't even see the shoreline. You can't even see the dock over there, completely submerged. And the spillway, as you can hear, just absolutely gushing with water, and all of that water has to go somewhere. Well, it flows into Anacoco Lake, and some folks down there are already feeling the impact. Dale, the meeting starts at 5:30. People are already starting to make their way in. Some have signs. And since local community leaders learned that the future of Hodges Gardens State Park could be at stake because of budget cuts, they've been advocating to keep it open. And joining me now is the mayor of Manny, Ken Freeman, who organized tonight's public meeting to get the word out. Can you kind of explain the importance of this park to the local economy?
Having seen these soldiers train and then shortly into the deployment, hearing news of Specialist Miss Aline's death, very difficult for me to report, and can't even begin to imagine, what the family is going through, what soldiers in the Patriot Brigade are thinking about right now. But they kind of have to put that aside and continue to do their job because there's still a mission to complete Operation Inherent Resolve, which is in its 3rd year. And even though the recapturing of Mosul in Iraq back in July was considered a big victory, there are still pockets of ISIS fighters, and it's a U.S.-led coalition to kind of drive those forces out and continue to clear villages in that area.
That's right. The widow of a soldier killed in Niger is speaking out for the first time, both about the mystery surrounding her husband's death and the highly scrutinized phone call she received from President Trump.
But what's the usual timeline for something like that, or is there even an answer sometimes?
It just depends, especially with these being special forces soldiers. A lot of what they do is secretive, so that's going to take going through several clearances and stuff before it becomes public record. Toledo Bend has reached pool stage, and 5 of the 11 gates have been open about a foot. As you can see behind me, the water is starting to flow through. And the Vernon Parish Sheriff's Office has been notifying residents along the Sabine River to have a plan in place to be ready to get out in case of an emergency, to take precautions. And also been hearing reports of some people in Evans getting water in their homes, so we'll be sure to check up on them later. But this is an issue that crosses state lines.
On Thursday, Tobias Williams explaining to the jury that he denied a plea bargain so that he could have his day in court and maybe bring some sort of closure to the victim's family through his testimony, which included gruesome details about what happened to Captain Jonathan Ellis in 2016. Now the prosecution calling that decision a gamble that Williams lost. You can see metal wrapped around some of the trees here at the entrance of Tyndall Air Force Base. A first look at some of what Hurricane Michael left behind just beyond the front gate here. And some of that damage includes unlivable housing for the 11,000 people who evacuated. But despite the damage, officials are confident that the installation still has a future. At around 9:30 Wednesday evening, residents of the Mona Lisa apartments in the surrounding area in New Lano were allowed to go back into their homes after about 5 hours. Authorities were searching the apartment of a Fort Polk soldier being investigated by the FBI for possibly having explosive materials. By December, the New Lano Police Department was no longer generating revenue. Compared to 2016, the fines and fees collected, which is their main source of income, was down by $11,000, according to records provided by the department. Unable to pull themselves out of the hole, the town had to step in, leading to the loss of the majority of NLPD. Well, a snow day might mean getting the day off from school or from work. For people who have animals like cows, goats, and horses, it means having to go out in the snow to take care of them. Lydia Magallanes here at the World War II Memorial. Earlier, we brought you the story of Charles Smith Sr. of Lena and how he's being accompanied by his son and daughter on this trip who are also veterans. Well, today we're bringing you the story of his grandson who recently joined the Army, and that is Trey Vendescio. He's joining me now. Now, growing up as a Navy brat, how did, having so many family members that were in the military kind of inspire you to join yourself?